Hey guys, hey guys, this is Malachi. Um, is it Malachi? Yeah, this is Malachi. The reason why I'm on this YouTube today is because I'm telling my fans today how how I want to relive I want to relive 2009 and 2025 today. My 2000 so I'll here we go. My 2009 era was like when I was a little kid. Um, dealing with so much happiness. Didn't have really a lot to we didn't have really a lot to worry about as an adult as of today. Excuse me, as of today, as in seeing if people going to me, seeing if I'm going to have good relationships and friendships, seeing if I'm going to be the one that they can talk to and be around, in order to see if people are honestly going to like me for real in general. So the reason why I'm on here today is because the reason why I'm on here today is because it's the fact that I'm on here today is because I'm talking about how if people going honestly if people the reason why I'm on here today is because I'm talking about my friendships. I'm talking about how 2009 was, and I'm talking about how I want a boyfriend at the end of this video. But first, 2009. So my 2009 era as of today, you guys, is the fact that today the reason why I want to go back in 2009 is because a lot of stuff in 2010 and 2009, because a lot of stuff that in the world but as of right now in my life, that is in the world, is a fact that for me, like it's not going it's not going the way I want it to be. It's not going the way that it should go, because the fact that for me, when I was a lot younger, I suffered a lot of trauma. I suffered a lot of trauma of being bullied. It's over time that's happened. And honestly, I was like people. I wasn't that rude to people for I wasn't that rude to people as I was when I was getting older. But in my middle school days, elementary days, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is my 2009 era, in my life, because it's the fact that it's any era that you want to make your life in, how you feel, how you see it, and how you want to relive it, and how you want things to go in your life. So as of right now, my life is like 2000. My life should be like 2009, because I was beautifully and naturally happy. I didn't have really nothing to really worry about. No. I didn't really have no response of being feeling so much hatred, or feeling like I ain't got no friends, or feeling like I can honestly meet somebody. I have to put myself out there. I have to honestly figure out why I ain't got no friends, as I think about it today, and as a 20-year-old person. It's honestly been a lot hard. It's honestly been a lot hard for me to honestly find friends, because it's the fact that for me, I have never honestly had friends to where I can like go out with and take walks with, or even joke around with, or even go out to dinners with, or even go out to places and have fun. I have never had that in my life. And the fact that things don't honestly go my way ever, because I love myself enough, but things will go my way ever because I guess I have a broken picker. As I pick and choose who I want to be around. I pick and choose who I want to talk to. I pick and choose who I want to be around, who I want to become friends with, who I want to date, who I want to enter my life, who I want to just be around. Be around people that are older than me. Be around people that do understand me, that do get me, and that do understand my mindset of what I'm coming from, what I am thinking, and what I am saying. So it's a fact that for me, I have never honestly had friends, and I've never honestly had friends in my entire life of living, 20 years of my life of living, going on 20 years of life of living. And the fact that for me, I've never had friends is because, I've always not always been rude, but like I'll say 38% of my life I was always rude to people during those times of my life. And I'm not going through it now. I'm not going through a lot of karma, but as of right now in my life, I feel like I'm just so lonely. I'm so down. I'm so lonely. I don't have really nobody to really talk to. I sit in my room and I talk or I just watch YouTube, watch DDG and Faux Airy. Shout out to them as well. But that's the things that I do, and it's the fact that for one, I'm starting to express myself more, and it's not express myself because like I can't hold everything on the inside, and I can't let things get to me. I can't just sit around and to me. I can't just sit around and always be sad every single day. I'm sad. I was sad yesterday. I was sad today. I was sad today because I just wake up. I just wake up by myself, not having really nobody to talk to, or not having friends I can honestly be around. Even though I do put myself out there, I don't have really no one to really to really talk to or to really like. And it's the fact that the reason why I'm saying this is because I have never had really friends for real in my life because I've always been rude. I've always been like sad. I've always been not rude, but I've 38% of my life I was always rude to people. Whenever somebody would approach me or be rude to me, I would be rude to them back. Or whenever somebody would approach me, I would I would honestly go overboard and to keep talking over them or keep talking to them when the person is already done talking, or I just introduce myself, or I'm just too scared to ask them if you can be friends because I'm afraid of being rejected. And that's what it is because I'm a broken picker, afraid of being rejected because I've been so rejected so much in my life whenever I try to become friends with people or try to be around people. People just don't want to be around me. And the fact I feel like I'm just not being recognized enough in my life. Um, Even if I do move out, not even if I do move out, even when I do move out, when I do move out my mom's house, I still I'ma still feel not recognized, honestly, because I'ma still feel not recognized in my own when I have my own apartment in my own apartment, being around other people whenever I want to be around other people, and it's the fact that like the only time I'm recognized is when a person does need something from me, or when a person does want to take something from me whenever I don't have it. And it's whenever I don't have it, they beg to get it out of me, or they beg for me to come up with it. And it's the fact that for me I don't have no one to really like speak to or talk to, and that's why I use like I use police officers to talk to, or I use myself to talk to, or I talk to myself because I don't got nobody to talk to. I've always been the individual to where I will be left out, or to where I will be left out, or where I feel like that nobody likes me, or I've always been that individual to where I think that everybody is out to get me. I've always been that individual. I've always been that individual to where I feel like if I do something, people gonna hold it against me, or people gonna honestly not see me. I live my best life, and if I when I do live my best life, when I do live my best life, and they want to come in your life and take something that you have and ruin it. And the fact that that's why like I isolated myself for 4 years for nearly 4 years straight. This is the fourth year I am isolating myself. I'm trying to get out in the world, trying to meet people, trying to do things, but you know, trying to do things, but it's just I don't want to have to sit up there and hold myself back of not finding nothing to do. And that's why I'm on YouTube explaining myself because like I've honestly never had no one to really talk to. I've always been an outsider. I've always been like not happy to. I'm not happy to be around somebody individual, but to where I don't want to make someone feel uncomfortable, or I do not want to make anyone feel anyone feel the way that anyway anyone to feel the way they should when they are around me. And I have like relationship anxiety to where I have to know how another person feels to where I'll feel the same way. And that's why I'm reliving in 2009, because in 2009 I have never suffered those issues. I have never dealt with those issues. I was 5 years old, turning six, and I've never suffered those issues. I've never suffered being sad all the time. I've never suffered honestly finding group friends. I've always hanged around by myself. Of course, a 5 year old find my 5 year old myself. Of course, a 5 year old me is not going to think like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to think like that because they're not 20 years old or not 16 years old yet. They are little kids trying to have fun, going to school, coming back and forth to school, trying to coming home, playing a game, doing a little homework, not really having nothing to do, talking to their parents, not really having nothing to do. So of course they're gonna think that I'm going to their grandma's house and playing with their little siblings upstairs. Of course they're going. Of course that's what they're gonna do. But for me, as a 20-year old, I don't want to be a kid again. But I want to relive my I want to relive my happiness, my friendships, and my era of not worrying so much of what's gonna happen. What's the next thing that's gonna happen, or what's the next thing that will not happen for me in my own way, in my own scenario, and in my own way of living, and in my own way of seeing what's going to happen, and then it doesn't go my way whenever it does happen. And that's why I want to live back in 2009, because I've never had that problem. And the fact that music was a lot better in 2009, because I am one of a kind. I do not want to have to sit up there and change myself for who I am, or change myself. I'm changing myself for the better, changing me for the better. God, I'm willing for God to change me for the better, and change me for who I am. But I don't want to have to sit up there and suffer so much to where suffer so much to where it's a lot of things that I do go through paralyze my mindset, and paralyze everything that I am feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I was always happy. Not the fact that I do act black, but it's the fact that I just have more of a personality and professionalism. And I am looking for a new job, and it's the fact that I've been traumatized a lot of my life. Being yelled at, being cussed at. You know, not really. I'm trying to escape. From this household, so I don't have to be in it anymore. What I'm saying? Trying to find people. That's why I'm in a panic attack. I'm in a panic mode to where, but just on the inside, not spiritually, but emotionally. So I need someone to save me to get out of my mom's house as of right now. And I have never had those issues back in 2009, and I have never dealt with that back in 2009. The fact that I love myself a lot, then I love myself a lot more back then than I did now. And it's the fact that I was the best version of myself during those years of my life, and the fact that that was 16 years ago. But it's the fact that the quality of life, how it was more genuine people, more genuine friendships, more genuine music. It was like Super J put that on the set. It was music like that. It was Beyonce, Halo, Single Ladies, Kanye West, Stronger, something like that. It was better music, better material. And for me, I just like, and the way and the, like for me, I just wish things were a lot better than what it was. Time is moving forward. I'm in my 2009 era, so I'm not stuck in my own ways, or I'm not stuck in being selfish. I just be selfish when it comes down to thinking for me and thinking about me, if I'm not helping someone else out. And that's why I wanted to honestly explain. And the fact that I'm trying to dress better, trying to put myself out there more, so I can, speak to people and talk to people more. But whenever I talk to somebody, I always get ignored, which is a person or a woman is never ignored in their life. And that's in 2009. It was never ignorance. It was never ignorance. It was never the quality of life. The weather was a lot better. What I'm saying? The weather was a lot better. It wasn't always smelling like smoky oil, or smoky oil, or canned oil. That's been out for years. That's on the highway. Drive on the highway. You don't always have to feel that way or smell that way. You know what I'm saying? Or smell those things that's on the highway. When your window is down in your own car. But that's why I wanted to talk about, to where like I was more happier in those times in 2009. Genuine people, genuine friendships, genuine places to even go at. I wasn't even afraid to even take risks of going somewhere. I used to go everywhere, and I need to feel that way again, of going places and going somewhere whenever I could. And that's why I'm living in my 2009, to where I have more friends, I have more friendships. But I'm getting older. It's hard to find friends as a 20-year old, as an adult. Even I'm trying to find a boyfriend, and honestly, it is hard trying to find a boyfriend, trying to find friendships, to where nobody really wants you really around them. And that's what I think. But I feel like in my mindset, I'm changing it to that's what I know. because I don't know who wants me around. I don't know who does like me or who does care about me. And I care about myself. But that's what I've always had a relationship by myself. But I've never had two friends or three friends that I can hang out with, go to without scared if that thing gonna hurt me, or without being scared that they gonna put a restraining order against me whenever I keep calling him again. God brings people together and he takes them apart. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that's what's been happening to me just like recently in my life. God bring another person in my life and then he removes them. And I can't change that. And I cannot change what God does because I'm not God and I can't do that. But I wish I just had that nostalgia of being in 2009 to where the weather was more healthier and beautiful than what it is now, and more genuine boyfriendships and the quality of life. I just wish it was. I wish it was in 2009 again. In 2025, and this is my era as of right now. My era as of right now. Era as of right now, and what happened in 2009. That's a great scenario of what I am thinking of what happened in 2009. So I will look it up as of right now. So what happened in 2009 is the fact that in 2009, American history was a landmark with Barack Obama's inauguration as the first African American president. The year also witnessed the Miracle on the Hudson with the successful ditching of a plan of the Hudson River. Additionally, the global economic recession began impacting the U.S. The year also included the death of Michael Jackson, who had a major impact on popular culture. Presidency of Barack Obama. Obama officially took office on June 20th, 2009, making him the first African American president of the United States. Miracle on the Hudson. On January 15th, U.S. Flight 1549 landed safely on the Hudson River in New York with all passengers and crew surviving. Global economic recession. The U.S. and the world were experiencing a severe economic downturn triggered by the collapse by the housing market. Death of Michael Jackson. The King of Pop passed away on June 25th, causing widespread grief and public mourning. The first cases of H1N1 swine flu in the United States were reported in California. Tea Party movement. The Tea Party protested emerged advocating for smaller government and fiscal responsibility. Statue of Liberty. The crown of Statue of Liberty reopened to the public after being closed for security risk following 9/11 attacks. And that's what it is. I wish it was in 2009 again because everything that I just read is not like that anymore. And I'm not saying the bad stuff. I'm talking about the good stuff. We need another African American president, and that's what I am talking about. And how the weather was in 2009. And it says this. Based on the information available, the weather in 2009, the United States was characterized by regional variations and several significant extreme weather events, influenced in part of the development El Nino and Pacific Ocean. The continuous United States and it had a near normal overall average temperature during the winter of 2008 and 2009. Um, Number two, summer, June, August was cooler than average, especially in the central U.S., northern plains, and Midwest, Great Lakes, and areas. 6 states in these ranges experienced record cool temperatures in July. Number three, fall 2009 extreme temperature swings. October was the third coolest record record for the nation within 42 and lower 48 states experiencing below normal temperatures. Conversely, November 3rd was the warmest on the record. Number 4. For the year 2009, the contiguous U.S. temperature ranked 35th warmest on the record. Precipitation. Summer precipitation was near normal overall, but with regional variation. The northeast, and experienced a second muddiest summer on the record. Number 2, the autumn was 13th wettest record for the continuous October saw a record wet condition, and the south south and Midwest with Arkansas experienced its greatest autumn and precipitation ever. November was 18th, was the driest on the record, and continuous U.S. Arkansas had its second wettest year on record. See, and that's what I wanted to be, and what I saw, that's how I want things to go my way, how it was in 2009 with better celebrities, genuine people, and we didn't worship celebrities how we worship them today. And that's how I wish it was 2009 again. This is my era, and I hope my era goes great as it is, as in on this run. Even though I'm living in 2025, this is my era of 2009 and 2025, worrying, of looking for love, worrying and working, and praising God, and putting myself out there. Those are 5 things about this era that I am doing right now. I hope you guys tune in. I hope you guys stay on my era, and yeah.